Welcome to week 3. I hope your semester is going smoothly. Week 3 is where you see your first exam. So I wanted to go in and show you exactly what is expected of you this week. And if we come to the landing page, you'll see what you always see when you come to the landing page. If you hit class content and go down to week 3, you can see that we have your checklist as normal, the learning outcomes, you're taking chapter 20 quiz. I would suggest that you do that by Wednesday. I would start studying for this exam, which will be this Friday, June 20th. Please note that the exam opens at 12:01 a.m. and closes at 11:59 p.m. Once you enter the exam, you have 2 hours in which to take it. The study guide will be posted in the content area. As with any other week, you've got your interactive lecture on the progressives, you've got the chapter 19 and 20 quiz, you have a discussion question, and then that's all the work you have to do for the week. We're not covering 2 chapters this week, we're only covering 1, with the exception of the quiz. It's an open book as normal, but there will be some questions from chapter 19 in the book. And then here's your exam 1 study guide. I do want to take you to that study guide and go over that with you. There are 4 parts to the exam. As I go through and explain how you're going to be taking this exam, please note that you must study for this exam. A lot of people think, oh, I've given you a study guide, you'll just use the study guide for the exam when you enter it. I would suggest to you that that would be a horrible mistake if you think that you can do that. Every semester I have students that try to prove me wrong and don't take the time to study for this exam, and they just go in with this study guide and think that they can complete this in 2 hours. You will fail miserably if you do that. Please note as I go along what I'm telling you here. This quiz is set up to where you can only see 1 question at a time. You cannot move to the next question until you have answered the question on the screen, and you cannot go back. So I have it set up to where you are going to go through 1 question at a time. This helps with the integrity of the exam. None of you will get the same exam, and you will see what I mean when I go through the study guide. Part 1 of the exam is 10 events in which you will have to put in order. I give you the events, so you need to look up the dates, make sure you have the dates correct, and then when you come into the exam, you will number them 1 through 10, starting with the earliest and going to the most recent. Part 2 will be terms. I've given you probably about 30 terms here, maybe 35 terms. I will only put 10 of these terms on the exam. You don't know what 10. And for each of you, it will be a different 10. So the way you would study for this is that you would look for the definition of all of these terms. Most of them can be found in the interactive lecture or your textbook. I will give you the definition on the exam. You will have to supply the term. There is no word bank. You will have to type in the term that I'm talking about. So that should give you some indication that you will have to know these terms very, very well. The third part of the exam is an essay. I have given you the essay question verbatim as it will appear on the exam. What I would do is I would write this essay before you go in to take the exam. You can go ahead and bring a copy of that with you into the exam. You will not be able to cut and paste. I've turned that feature off, so you will have to retype that exam. Remember, this exam does not appear until you've done all of the previous questions. I've kept the last 2 essays for the last part of the exam, and so this will take some time. Write the best essay you can and then come in and retype it for the exam. And then part 4 is the final essay of the exam. You will take, or I will give you 5 terms from these terms that you have defined, and you will have to write a historical essay connecting all 5 terms. Please note that you must have an opening paragraph, and the thesis statement in that paragraph must connect the terms. And then you will have 1 paragraph for each of the terms, with a transitional sentence in each paragraph, which means that you are taking the link must be something that connects those 5 terms. It cannot be history. For instance, if I were to give you red, white, and blue, and George Washington, the term that would connect that, or the connection would be the flag. It might be patriotism. It might be war. I don't care what the term is, as long as you can connect it and then prove it within your essay. So again, you must have an introductory paragraph in which you connect the term, and then each of those terms will have its own separate paragraph in which you're defining the term, and then you're having that transitional sentence which connects to the next term. And then finally, you will have a concluding paragraph which will wrap up your whole essay. These last two paragraphs are 35 points apiece, meaning 70% of your grade will be in those essays. The other 30% will be in the first two parts of the exam. Please note you only have 2 hours to take this exam, so you must start today studying for that exam that will be on June 20th, which is this Friday. Again, it opens at 12:01 a.m. and closes at 11:59 p.m. Once you enter the exam, you have 2 hours in which to take it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know that there is some anxiety with any first exam with an instructor, but I am here to help you. You can contact me via email. You can even call me. Whatever you need to do to feel comfortable before you take this exam on Friday. I hope you all have a great week and good luck on your exam.